stars, welcome back to my channel. I'm actually so excited to do this video because I'm doing it in collaboration with the ever lovely Emily Hanhan here on YouTube. I'm going to link her channel down below. Be sure to go and check her out. She is also going to be doing this video. She also does a great series with Teresa is Dead where they do new makeup nonsense. It's a whole bingo thing. It's fantastic, very entertaining, so be sure to go and give her some support. So, on to today's video. I recently did a video where I looked at what are the 10 palettes that I would keep if I could only keep 10. I did not originate that idea, but I don't know who did. If you do know who originated it, please feel free to leave that down below so that we can all see and support. But this is just a spin-off from that, and Emily and I in discussion decided that 10 single shadows was just impossible. It's just way too hard. So we have expanded it to 20. So here we go. I have not pre-selected, so you get to struggle along with me. And I have quite an extensive singles collection. I have not gone ahead and counted them, but I will quickly walk you through what I do have. So first up, I have some single shadows here from Adept Cosmetics. I have 6. There are 6 more on their way that I ordered during their Black Friday sale. And I've been really impressed with the quality of these eyeshadows. I had not used anything from Adept before I bought these, aside from their palettes, which you're going to see in a moment. But their shadows, top notch. Then over here in a Makeup Forever tin case, I have Makeup Forever singles. This was before they changed to their square pans. And then these are some depotted singles over here, also from Makeup Forever, as well as some Urban Decay in this beautiful, beautiful magnetic case. This is from Cosmetics, and inside are my stained glass shadows from them. In this palette here, I have more shadows from Cosmetics, and this is their Woodlands bundle, and there are the shades there. And I have more singles from them as well, but they are contained in my Adept Cosmetics double-sided, like, huge palettes. So I have one in black, and I have one in pink. Some of this is going to be a little bit cheaty because I had 10 or 11 Juvia's Place palettes that I depotted, and so a lot of these shadows are from them. But I'm not going to go and sort through and take all of those ones out, so we're just going to count them as singles at this point. So this palette over here, I can hear something moving around in it. Yep, so one has fallen out entirely, come off of its little sticker, and then one has broken apart, unfortunately. It's the only problem with depotting eyeshadow palettes is that they become very fragile, and so this one has broken apart and is now like scattered. Like there's a chunk of it there and there's a chunk of it there. So unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to keep that shadow. I guess I could repress it and all that, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, now that I've cleaned that up, I can show you. So I've got a lot of colorful options here. Again, a lot of them are from Juvia's Place, but I also have some depotted Morphe eyeshadows in here. I have MAC, I have Makeup Geek, Suva Beauty. There are some Sugar Pill ones scattered throughout here. I'm not going to go through each individual one, but when I pick them out for the 20, I'll let you know exactly which ones they are. And then I have more neutral options up here. Now these palettes are fantastic because not only do you have like the double-sided there, but it also has like a little plastic divider so it keeps the shadows separate. And there's the neutral side up there. In my pink case, a lot of the same kind of thing going on. We've got more purples and greens over here, and then again, oh, 2 of them fell off. The MAC magnets are not fantastic. And then more neutral options over here. So now that you've seen my single shadow collection, perhaps you'll understand why even just narrowing it to 20 is a little overwhelming. So I need a strategy going into this. So for me, and I'm not sure how Emily's gonna do it, but for me, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the 10 palettes that I chose in my previous video, I have. And those are all that I have. And so that's going to help guide me in terms of filling gaps that those palettes create. Because otherwise it's just going to be based on what my favorite colors are, and that might look completely different than an actual usable palette made up of 20 singles. Does that make sense? Anyways, so how am I going to tackle this? All right, so what I'm going to do, we're gonna like go by rounds, and I'm just gonna go palette by palette, see if there's anything in each one that I've just shown you that I wanna keep. I have a double-sided Z palette over here that I'm gonna put the 20 in just so that I can gather them all in one space and they're not flying off and falling and shattering any more than some of them already have. So that's what we're gonna do. So, looking at the Adept Cosmetics ones, off the top, this shade right up here, can't live without it. It's so incredibly beautiful. So this one is ACD4, and if you'll recall, if you've been watching, last week by the time I post this, I wore like a baby blue shirt that had like a little collar around the neck, and then I had like a blue eye look going on in I think 2 videos. This was the star of that particular show, and it is so pretty. It is an iridescent diamond finish. It's purpley yet bluey, and it is just stinking gorgeous. And I don't think I have anything else like this in my collection, and it's just so eye-catching that I know I have to keep that one. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, when it comes to these singles here, I virtually never reach for them. And it's not that they're bad eyeshadows, it's just I just never reach for them. I don't know why. I just don't. And yet I don't declutter them. I don't know. Perhaps this should have been included in that video that I did where I talked about makeup that I don't use, but for some reason keep, because this falls squarely into that category. But it makes this video a little bit easier because these ones I'm just going to set aside. Trying to sort through my Adept Cosmetics stained glass shadows, it's kind of like Sophie's Choice. It's really difficult. But I've got it down to 4. There's one other that if there's room at the end, it's going to be added back in. But these are just so gorgeous that 4 seems appropriate, like it's necessary. So first up is Glow, and I love this one so much. It is just this beautiful purpley pink blue iridescent gorgeousness. It's what I imagine like the sweat of an angel looks like. It's so stinking beautiful. So that one is an absolute must. All right, so I just went ahead and swatched the other 3 on my hand, and I'll show you here. This one here is called Abrasion. The one beside it up here is Carving. And then this is one of their insane multi-chromes, and it's called Kiln. For the life of me, I cannot get it to look nearly as beautiful on camera or as multi-chromal as it does in real life. Somebody suggested using a mirror, so let's give that a try and we'll see if this will actually work. It's like when I look at it, like this angle, it's like pure gold, and then it's like an orangey color, and then almost like purple. Oh, there you can see. Huh. Thank you, whoever left that suggestion. See, like it's purpley and then it shifts to gold up here, and it's so beautiful. And I'm surprised that I chose that one, to be honest, because I have some that are like blue and green and purple to blue, that kind of thing. But this one is just so unique and so different, and I love how warm it is because it really plays up the color of my eyes. So these are the 4 from Clionadh that absolutely have to make it into my top 20. Looking at the Clionadh Woodlands bundle, there are 2 that I'm going to pull to add to the top 20. I would have included this green shade here However, it is very, very similar to the olive green that is in the mini gold palette, this shade right here. So because this was in the top 10 of palettes that I would keep, I already have a shade very similar to that, so I'm not going to pull this green, but I am going to pull the shade Wild Berry and Dahlia, and I will swatch those to show you. Wild Berry is just like a really pretty, dusty, plummy pink, if that makes sense. And then Dahlia is like a peachy gold, and it's very, very pretty. There we have it. So that's Wild Berry and then Dahlia at the bottom. All right, so now I'm going to go into my black Adept Cosmetics palette. I'm gonna hem and haw over these shadows for probably far longer than I should, and then I will be right back to tell you what I've chosen from these ones. All right, so from that palette I have pulled 5 shadows. They are all from Juvia's Place, but they're from different palettes. Can't necessarily remember which palette all of these were from, but I am pretty sure that these 2 were in the Festival palette. So we have a bright cherry red, which these kind of shadows are a little bit difficult to come by, especially ones that don't blend out to just be pink. And then like a pretty orchid sort of purple. This orange one here, I can't remember which palette this one was in. This bright cobalt blue, I'm pretty sure was in the Afrique palette. Oh, and a big chunk of it just fell out. That's sad. Actually, you know what? As I'm swatching it, it's not great. That's not great at all. I'll still keep it in my selections for now, but if I'm like down to the wire and need to free up space for one, that's the one that I'm going to set aside, because that's kind of disappointing payoff. I don't remember it being like that, but here we are. The last one is like a shimmery green, and I think this was from the Magic Mini, but I'm not 100% on that one. I depotted all of those Juvia's Place palettes simply because they were taking up like that much space. Like it was just a huge amount. Now I can fit them pretty much into one palette, but obviously there's the green there. All right, that was far more difficult than it needed to be. However, I've selected 9, which means that that cobalt blue has to come out. It's disappointing, and surprisingly so, but let's move on from there. Okay, Omega from MAC. I love this shade for its like simplicity. I'm having like some sort of like skin allergic reaction, so hopefully these shadows will show up properly, but I don't think my skin likes the makeup wipe. I've never had issues with it before, but I am today. So it's just this nice cool tone brown. I love this for when I don't want to wear a ton of makeup. I just like throw it in my crease, throw some mascara on, and I'm good to go. It's just easy breezy. I don't know, what else can I say about it? Like it's not exactly what you'd call like a pretty shade, but it's a very functional shade. And on days where I really don't want to fuss with a ton of makeup, this still helps me feel like put together, creates a little bit of dimension without being super obvious about it. And so it's a must for me because it's just so practical. From ABH, this one is Orange Soda, and I really like this one for the transition area. It's just nice and warm without, again, being super obvious. So it's just this nice orange shade here. It's kind of reminiscent of like Craft Dinner, but without being quite so bright and intense. And just buffed around the edges of darker shadows. It just warms things up a little bit, and it's really beautiful. This is a heavy swatch. It does blend out to be a lot lighter than that, but it's a must. It's a staple shade. I have another MAC shadow that I just love, again, for its simplicity, and that is Woodwinked. This is one of those shades that looks amazing just as like a one and done. So on days, again, where I really don't want to fuss with a bunch of stuff, this one is just one that I can put all over the lid and head on out the door, because again, it's metallic without being like super foiled. It's brown without being super dark. Like it's just the right balance of basically everything as far as I'm concerned. So this is one that I can just like slap on and head on out the door. So on a day-to-day basis, that's my kind of look. Not usually rocking something like this to the office. FYI, there will be a tutorial on this coming soon. It is the Morte Palette from Melt. Back to these shadows. Let's round out the MAC ones. So this was from their holiday collection last year. It's called Just Chilling. And as you can see, it's just this beautiful silver shadow, which don't wear silver a ton, but when I want a silver, I want silver. And this delivers. It is so beautiful. It's not glittery at all, but you can see just how metallic and foiled it is. It's not chunky, it's smooth to apply. So good, it's so gorgeous. I pulled this shadow here, but I don't know what it is or who it's from because I had to put like one of those magnetic stickers on the back, so it could have come from another palette. Most likely that's exactly where it came from, but I can't remember which palette at this point or even what brand. But it's this really beautiful, dark, what do you call it, a teal? Like I'm not quite sure. It's not really green, it's not really blue. I don't know what that color is, but it's so pretty. And again, it's a very smooth shadow. I wish I could remember what it is. I have zero concept, but it's very pretty. So hence I kept it. Insomnia from Makeup Geek is just an OG eyeshadow. There are a lot of brands that have things like shadows similar to this, but I just love the intensity of this one. It's one of those like blue-brown shadows. It's just so stinking gorgeous. I was so excited when they came out with it in a pressed pan, just because I find loose shadows difficult to work with and I tend not to reach for them. But having this one in a pan makes me very happy because it's just so easy to use. I have another shadow here from Adept Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Fog. This is not part of their stained glass collection. It's just part of their regular line. And I like this one because it's so unique to my collection. It's sort of blue gold, like it's got a bit of a shift in there, and it's so pretty and just so very eye-catching. And that's why I wanted to keep this one, because as a pop of color option, this one's beautiful. All right, and now we're down to the bottom two. This shade here is called Chronic Ailment, and it's from Mater Makeup Labs. And I don't even know how to describe this. Like, let's swatch it and see if I can come up with descriptive words for it. I don't think I can. It's sort of like a greeny pink with a bit of like a duochrome shift in there. Subtle, but very, very pretty. This is something that I would use either all over the lid or even as an inner corner highlight for something a little bit more unique and different. And I just think it's so, so pretty and so different. The last one that I have here, I think it's Min, I think it's called. I can't really read it on the back. And it's from Amy Hart's Beauty. And this is just, to me, like a perfect inner corner slash brow bone highlight, because it is very pale without being a stark white. It is very much a white base, but that bit of like metallicness to it really helps keep it from being difficult to wear. And I think it's just so brightening that, especially as an inner corner highlight, it's just beautiful. And there we have it, guys. Those are the 20 shadows that I would keep from my singles collection if I could only choose 20. If I wasn't doing this in conjunction with the 10 palettes that I had kept, if I could only keep 20 singles and nothing else, a lot of these more colorful options would be coming out and more neutrals, browns, things like that would go in. But I make up my own rules and I'm declaring that I can use the palettes. So that's why I've put in pops of color and just more unique and fun options here, with the exception of these three staples on this side. But there we have it. I am very excited to see what Emily has chosen as her 20. Again, please remember to go and check out her video. It will be linked down below, or if not her video, if I post first, then her channel, and you can navigate from there. go and give her some love and some support, and please let her know that I sent you over there. And if you want, down below, let me know some of the singles that you would choose if you could only keep a select few. I love hearing what other people's perspectives are and how they would approach this kind of thing. It's just curiosity at this point. At any rate, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now. Definitely go and give her a check. That sounds like you're gonna pay her. Nope, that's not what I meant. Harvest. Moon? Woodland. Woodland creature? What the fuck is it called? What is it called? This is hard. That's what she said. At every table, I'll save you a seat, lover.